Welcome everybody to World of Tanks Replays. My name is Maxwell and today's first replay is from the user Razor. That is Razor, and he's driving the Centurion 7-1 on a standard battle on El Haluf. Centurion 7-1 being a tier 9 medium tank for the British. And I feel like over the past few months I've probably featured a few more Centurion replays than I probably should have. But then again, you guys just keep sending in awesome Centurion replays, so I have no choice but to feature them. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up on this video. This one is if you want to learn how to fight a really good defense against overwhelming odds, then this is the video for you. It's the video that's going to show you how to use terrain and how to win the fight that you really had no right winning in the first place, and how to use terrain, the lay of the land, and retreating at exactly the right times to your advantage to come out on top when you really shouldn't have. I've got vertical synchronization switched on this time, so hopefully we shouldn't get any of the screen tearing that we got on the last video, and fingers crossed. I did some tests earlier and the microphone problem seems to be fixed. Finds an counterpart Centurion 7-1. The two of these two guys get shots on him. He gets no damage in return. Panther 2 being a little bit daring, moving forward. Razor using the terrain there to make sure he can get the gun depression, driving his tank just up the little sheer cliff to his left there so that his gun moves down onto target. This is going to be a little bit more dangerous when more tanks arrive, but they've got the enemy Centurion 7-1 on low hit points now. And the allied Panther 2 is deciding to move back a little bit into more safety. It's a great hit onto the Ferdinand there. Ferdinand does the smart thing of deciding not to try and duel it out and just continue going. Yag Panther 2 is going to stop, so if there were any more guns in the area, he'd be in serious trouble. Decides now to move forward. Nope, puts his gun back onto target. Razor going to try and get a nice shot on him, which indeed he does, again using the cliff to get his gun adequate depression to get onto the Yag Panther 2. It's a nice chunk of damage onto him. Centurion 7-1 still threatening. Yag Panther 2 sitting stubbornly out in the open. A little bit of a change in the terrain there meant that Razor wasn't able to get his gun on target. Tried to get a shot towards the enemy Centurion 7-1, but he just ducked back in time and took the consolation prize of the Yag Panther 2. Hopefully a decent roll on that Centurion 7-1 should be enough to take him out. Take some damage in return, but he is able to get the Centurion 7-1 out of the battle. And this Yag Panther 2 still sat in a terrible position. There are more tanks on the right hand side, though some of them have made it through. Razor's decided to switch locations. As you can see, a T-34 on his left there. It's a very sharp angle, but the gun has more than enough penetration to get through there, and he's just going to drop back before this Lurva turns up. Looks like he is sat behind the rock there. The allies aren't faring particularly well on this right-hand side. Razor just having a look to see if that Yag Panther 2 would come back. He hasn't. A T-95 has appeared now, though. The raid boss has descended. Going to try and get a shot, beautiful shot through his tracks there to get some damage and take out his tracks, although it looks like it's left him in a position where he can fire at somebody. Going to have some side armor here, and Razor didn't quite get any damage on him that time, but still able to take his track out, which is going to slow his progress even more. The T-95 isn't the quickest of cats at the best of times. Gets another shot through his track here. It looks like this Panther may just decide to go full ham over the top here. If he does, he's going to be in serious trouble. I think he's realised the error of his ways just in time there, and he has backed off, although it looks like everybody is going to rush now. This T-34 has a huge chunk of hit points, and Razor's going to have to be very careful and play this one very smart. Tries to go through the track, is able to take out the T-34's track but not get any damage. He used his repair kit, but it looks like his ally in the T-30 is on the ball, and he gets a shot through the track. T-34 is resigned to his fate, and Razor takes him out for kill number 2. T-30 on the right hand side fending off against 3 or 4 tanks now, and more probably coming to the left. Nobody's showing up just yet, so Razor switches attention over there. Has a shot at the Lurva, but the T-30 was reloaded just in time as well. A little bit unfortunate to waste that shot, and that is just what happens when you can't communicate. Going to try and get a shot on someone in the background there. Gets a lovely hit on that IS-3 past all of the corpses in the distance. T-30 gets himself taken out, and now it's Razor against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks. And he's going to have to play this very carefully. He has a T-95 in the north and a Lurva in the south, but he's just going to play the back-off game now. which means as soon as he is visible, he's going to back off behind some of the terrain. He's got a lurver here. Hopefully he can act as a meat shield, as he only has about 900 hit points himself. T95 is detracked and going to be moving on forward. Hopefully Razor can get another shot on him. Indeed he can. Takes him out and takes out his track. T95 is able to fire at the lurver. And hopefully, yep, T29 also fires at the lurver. And Razor just keeping the hill between himself and the enemy. Every single shot he gets on this T95, whether it does damage or not, thankfully takes out the track. So he is playing very, very smart here. And he's just using this hill here as cover. You can see a Jagdpanther 2 behind him, showing fantastic map awareness there. I'm not really sure where that Jagdpanther came from, but it looks like he's able to take him out. Now he's got to back off even further, using this hill as cover. And then the enemy's going to have to come over the top of this hill, meaning that their guns are not going to be on target. Razor gets a shot through the lower plate, decided not to go for the track this time because the T95 is slow and he has more than enough cover in the way. Looks like a, what the hell is that? It is a Panther. He goes for a run and then he gets destroyed. Still got a hill in the way of himself in this T95. Decided not to track him because he's going to have to come all the way around the hill if he wants to get a shot on Razor, which indeed he is doing. Gets a shot through his track, not quite able to do any damage, but he hasn't got a repair kit. He's hoping that some of his allies can do some damage, but looks like nobody can pick out a weak spot here. 1 second until he's reload. Hopefully he can get a shot. He can indeed. Takes out the T95 for kill number 5. Now he's got a WZ, all the ones in front of him. T29 to the left and the T37 lurking somewhere in the background there. Gets a great shot on that T29. He's only got a few hit points left. He's just waiting patiently for Razor to come around the corner, although he should know he's not going to make a move until he is reloading. Just doesn't want to be hit in the face by this WZ. WZ has his shot, so he takes this opportunity to take out the T29 for kill number 6, and that is the situation all but won now, winning this game 11 kills to 9. Was himself in a couple of tanks versus 6 opponents on this left hand side at one point, but the smart dropping back, using of cover and using of his reload speed that won him that fight. Not a fantastic reload speed on the Centurion 7-1, but just firing every time that gun was able to fire means that he's able to just wipe everybody out. It's just going to be a case of getting a shot on this WZ, which he does indeed for kill number 7. Almost 7,000 points of damage. There are a couple of Tiger 1s and a T37 left, but his allies, fingers crossed, should be able to deal with those guys themselves, which should leave Razor just able to do a lap of honour in the centre of the map. He should be satisfied that he's done a fantastic job carrying this game for his team. Not sure where this T37 is. I thought he was last spotted on the far left hand side, but it looks like he was last spotted in A0, so not really sure where he is going to be. Rest of the, well, a couple of the allies going for a base capture. It would be nice if he could get the final kill on the T37 for a Radley Walters medal, but we shall see. Pershing going for a base capture just in case the allies can't find the T37. I'm just going to speed this one up a little bit. Looks like he has committed suicide. And that is GG and the victory. So absolutely fast and furious and awesome game there from Razor. Picking himself up almost 7,000 points of damage, 7 kills, and coming out victorious when he really had no right to against the combined pressure of all those tanks on that left hand flank there, using the terrain, backing off and firing every time his gun was off reload to pick up the victory for his team there. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget guys to stick around because as always the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay is from the user Dino95. That is Dino95, and he's driving the IS-8 on a standard battle on Ruinberg on fire. IS-8 been a tier 9 heavy tank for the Russians. And again, fair warning about this video, this is going to be all about how to push an advantage and take advantage of an off-balance enemy team while you can. So how to make an advantage and then how to drive a wedge through that advantage to take an enemy by surprise and really press home for the victory. So Dino going to be heading straight for the square or the circle in the centre of the town here. Spots a T43. Was thinking about not having a shot, but then the T43 hesitated. And then he blasted one straight through the front armour for a nice bit of early damage there. Got himself in a bit of a side-scraping position. IS-8's armour is not fantastic, but he's set up here waiting for a shot, see if anybody else pops their head out. Only a Tiger 2 in the other street here. Rest of the enemy team look like they're wanting to back off, apart from this T-30. Just want to play this carefully, as if the T-30 gets a shot on him, that's going to be a bit of a bad day, although he does have a T-54E1, T-32 to the left of him, and they're hopefully going to hold the T-30 back. It looks like still only this Tiger 2 on this right-hand side in the other street. He's taken a large amount of damage from somewhere, so he's not looking particularly healthy. Dino looking to see if he can sneak a shot on him, so it looks like he's going to have to push forwards here. Rather than sitting and waiting for the enemy to come to him, he's going to have to push forward. Finds the top of the Tiger 2 here and gets a beautiful shot through the rubble there. Looks like nobody else from the enemy team is pushing. T-54E1 has come around the corner. Dino's reloaded his cannon. He's able to take out the Tiger 2 here. Going to move forwards as the enemy is pressing on that left-hand side. Looks like this E-75 has no idea that there are enemy tanks to his right. Finally realises that somebody's here and he's able to straighten his tank up just in time, and Dino's shot bounces, paying way too much attention to that MT-25 right now, and that could prove to be costly, although Dino finally gets some damage through the underbelly of the E-75. E-75's got much longer reload than Dino. Somehow didn't get any damage on the IS-8, even though it's got very weak armor. Looks like he's decided that he doesn't want to go for the IS-8 anymore, or maybe just wants to try and flank around. Looking like he's wanting to go and try and get shots on that Tiger 2. As it is, he gets himself taken out, and that is Dino's second kill now of the match. IS-3 is up ahead, but the allied IS-3 is going to be pushing down on him, and if Dino gets a good roll here, may be able to take him out in a single shot, which indeed he does. Takes a wallop in the face from the lurking T-30 here. Hopefully the IS-3 can do something about that. T-34 takes him out. And that is the wedge driven home. T-54E1 on the left-hand side. Not sure if he's going to be reloaded or not. It looks like he is, but he fluffs his shot and doesn't do any damage. Gets a hit on the IS-3 and on the Super Pershing, and Dino is going to be free. Nope, he's not. The T-34 totally blocks his shot, so he just leaves the T-54 to the T-34, which may prove to be a mistake, because he almost got away if it wasn't for the T-32 flanking around behind him. He takes out the T-43, and now he's going to focus down on the Black Prince, takes him out as well, and the pincer maneuver is complete. Everybody in the city is wiped out to a man. It looks like they now have to pay attention to this right-hand flank, as they have pretty much lost that one. Bounces a shot from the FCM-50T, and there is a M41 Bulldog in the background there. I have to play this one carefully. Looks like he might get one more shot on that FCM. Beautiful shot to go through his side armor there. Leaves plenty of space for that T-34 to fire, but he elects not to. Looks like the M41 Bulldog is going to be going back to the base to try and defend against the IS-3. He's not going to have an easy time with that one. Leopard PT is making a move. Takes the hit there from the FCM. Not quite able to get a shot in return, so going to try and get into cover. Does take some tracking damage. Can't quite see the FCM. Looks like he may pop his head back out again to try and get some damage back onto Dino, but at this range and with that amount of his tank visible underneath the dip in the terrain, this FCM's not going to have a good time. The IS-3 is flanking around the side. Fairly even game, although they are winning 10 kills to 8. Finds the other FCM. He's way out in the open. He takes a shot through the face, and that's Dino's kill number 6. First FCM hanging around in the back there, probably taking some shots in the rear from this IS-3, as he only has a few hundred hit points. Leopard PTA gets a yellow ammo rack on Dino, but it's not enough. He gets taken out for kill number 7. Walker Bulldog going to try and flank around. Turret pointing in the wrong direction. He does have... No, he doesn't have that long a reload. Takes his shot, takes him out. Kill number 8. And now this just leaves the WZ-120, who is battling determinedly in that south there against the allied FCM-50T and the T-32. The two of them should be able to take him out, although the T-32's just got himself blown away. T-54E1 going for a base capture. Dino going to try and get around to the side of this FCM, repair some of the damage that he did earlier. Doesn't want to take his shot too early, as that one may just get deflected by one of these little brick fences or just go awry slightly if he can't see his target. There he goes, got the rear of the FCM, takes his shot, picks up the kill, and that is GG and the victory. So absolutely awesome replay there from Dino95, really creating an advantage in the city and then pressing that advantage home for the victory, picking up 4,500 points of damage, 9 kills, and being instrumental in his team's victory today. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, please send that in to replay@screenreality.com. The link for that is in the description. Just attach the replay file itself or the link to the What Replay website to the email, and I can check that one out for you. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you found it useful, informative, you learned something, or you just enjoyed it, think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks Replays, and I'll catch you guys next time.